Alrighty, here, ladies and gentlemen, we're back today with our Scream review. This is going to be our longer video. If you guys have been coming from TikTok or YouTube Shorts, just know this is about like a 5 to 10 minute breakdown. TikTok's typically about three, and then YouTube is going to be the 1 minute until we get the 3 minute update here on the 15th. But we're going to get on into Scream 2 here. Another great movie here in this franchise. It is my second favorite so far. I'm kind of ranking these as I go, as you guys can tell by the graphic that I have up on screen for you. I just thought it was not slightly, it was a little bit not on the same level as the first Scream. It's not a bad movie at all. It's just that first one with the killers and Stu Macher and Billy were just iconic, and you can't really go wrong with that. And I quite enjoyed them a lot. So they set this tone with high standards, I felt personally, in that first movie. So this movie didn't necessarily take a step back, in my opinion. It just didn't have the same effect that Billy and Stu Macher had there in that first one. But we start off the movie with the classic, stab type opening, which happens a lot in the movies moving forward. But we see a couple at the movie theater. They both end up dying due to the fact that Ghostface is there. My prediction is that Mickey was the one at the movie theater because it kind of lined up a little bit because I could see those two people in the beginning being like college students. So to me, I think it was definitely Mickey at the in the opening scene as Ghostface there, and it fit in really well. He had a nice little, I want to say camouflage in a sense where he kind of just blended in with everyone dressed up as Ghostface, and they thought she was acting the entire time, and you kind of lose track of where he's at within the scene, which um, just set up for a great opportunity there for him within the movie. These Ghostface killers like to use any opportunities they can get, and I thought it was great that he utilized the fact that he was in the theater surrounded by a bunch of people dressed like him. So it just worked out perfectly. And then moving on from that, we end up seeing Sydney in college. She moves on, gets a new boyfriend there. Boyfriend is Derek, who at times she suspects of being the killer, but I just think it would be ironic if it was her boyfriend both times. Like, I get there's a trust issue there with the fact that this has all come up, but um, you can't blame her for that at all within these movies. And again, it is a movie, but like you couldn't blame her. But we see that she's going to college with Randy. Mickey, who ends up being one of the killers here, is in his class. They talk about sequels, and I thought it was kind of interesting due to the fact that he was so obsessed with the sequels that it just kind of fit. And I had a suspicion that he would be the killer the first time I watched this quite a few years ago, and I never fully committed to that. But it ended up being him, and I had a gut feeling, but I never fully committed. So I couldn't say I was like right on that, but the shocking one to me was Billy's mom. I was not suspecting her to be his mother, but it makes sense on why she is one of the killers. With Sydney's, mom basically driving her out of the picture due to the way she was apparently, and due to the fact that her son died, it gave her a motive. Mickey really didn't have much of a motive, in my opinion. I think there's so far in each of these movies one killer that just really did not have a motive, and I don't know how that really sits with me. I'd rather them all have a motive, but um, he was just kind of obsessed with the hunt. That's all I can really say. I guess that's his motive in a sense, but it made sense having Billy's mom as one of the killers there. Throughout this movie, we see Cotton, who was accused of the murder in the first one, trying to clear his name completely, even though it's already cleared, and getting basically his 10 minutes of fame, which he ends up doing, which is great for him because we get to see him innocent. At times, you would suspect that maybe he is the killer just with the way he's acting because he's so tense around Sydney. The library scene to me is like the big one because he is like up in her grill and like basically forcing her to stay there and talk to him, which I thought looked a little sus. But um, he ended up doing the right thing at the end. He helped her take out Billy's mom after getting his 10 minutes of fame basically. But to backtrack back to where we were, we see Dewey and Gail both involved here in this movie, which was great. I prefer Dewey. Gail's kind of a hit and miss character with me, but um, we see them basically trying to help Sydney out, Gail trying to get her next story, but Dewey's there to strictly just help Sydney out, because he just considers her basically kind of like a little sister. He doesn't say that, but you can kind of get that type of vibes there because she was really good friends with his sister, so it's it's nice to see that Dewey pulled up, and then you could see that he had a little bit of an arm issue due to the fact that he was stabbed there in that first movie. Um, yeah, pretty solid storyline. I thought I did like the killers for the most part. I thought Mickey was kind of just like a thrown in there type killer. It didn't live up to my expectations there of the first one, but um, the first one set some really high standards, so I don't think you can knock the second one for that. The second one just had better killers, in my opinion. I thought the stories in both of them were pretty good. They're kind of identical a little bit, but going from high school to college kind of leads to that type of situation. But yeah, I really liked it overall, and I'm really in love with this series. I really like it. Um, Next up, we'll be doing the third one. If you guys are following these, trying to get more comfortable talking about movies. I'm not like a great talker in general, so like hopefully you guys are bearing with me here as I talk about everything. I've been trying to write down bullet points to talk about, but I get sidetracked with other notes. So hopefully you guys are enjoying this. I enjoy it. It's fun. I love watching horror movies. So if you guys ever have any suggestions, please leave them in the comments if you make it to this point. I have my Amazon wish list as well if you guys want to check that on out and help me get some movies. I have a budget set aside so I can get movies myself, which is the big one. Me getting it, and yeah, be reviewing more movies, doing openings on TikTok if you guys end up sending me anything, and then we're gonna be doing some like dream fights and a few other things here on the channel. So I hope you guys stay tuned for that, and as always, stay spooky. And hey, rankings right there on screen. If you disagree, comment. I would love to debate about it. See you next time.